woman in this room is going to grow older. We are going to be the elders in our communities, holding the younger generation into their maturity. We are going to be the holders of truth, the storytellers, sharing our wisdom. The world needs us to have energy for this time in our life. We have an important role to play. But it's going to be very difficult the way many of us are living our lives. So many of us are already showing signs of depletion in our 20s and 30s, and definitely by the time we enter our 40s. Our nervous systems are exhausted and overloaded. We rush from one thing to another with few pauses in between. Our hearts are stressed, our digestion is malfunctioning. We've forgotten how to naturally breathe slowly and deeply. Our heads are flooded with endless items on our to-do lists. In fact, we are trying to achieve growing an abundant amount of cherries without even having our roots in the earth. We've forgotten how to be energetically connected to the earth, let alone know how to access the natural elixir of life. The truth is, by the time women arrive in my training seminars and events, and they are in their 50s and 60s, they are exhausted and worn out. They are deeply depleted and empty. These are women with a big heart. They are natural givers. They give even when they're empty. This is absolutely tragic. It's tragic because this is supposed to be a woman's most vibrant time of her life. Usually she's just beginning to come out of raising a family, supporting a partner, being involved in local school communities, next to her work, or running her business. This could be the best time of her life. It's a time for her to reinvent herself. Perhaps study art, write a book, start a business, whatever her heart desires. It's a time to bring your wisdom and your life experiences into new projects that fully express you, satisfy you, and through that, feeds those around you. In 1995, I lost my second baby 2 days after birth. Now, the incredible thing is that right in this moment, it is the 23rd anniversary, almost to the hour, in Australian real time, of his passing. It was right now, in this moment, real time, 23 years ago, that I was holding this child as he took his last breath. my body began to shut down really fast. I just kept on bleeding. It was as if my body was crying. She wasn't only crying her own tears. She was also crying the tears of my ancestors, the tears of women collectively around the world. My cycle just wouldn't return. And I began to ask myself a lot of questions. I realized I was not the only one suffering. Today, women have irregular cycles, roller coaster menopause, birthing and fertility issues. Women struggle to enjoy sex. Women require all sorts of surgeries removing sexual organs from their bodies. We cannot accept this. Something that should be as natural as breathing, we have completely forgotten how to do. I believe something has to change. I had the privilege to live for 10 years submerged and surrounded by the Australian bush. One morning, I noticed a wild wattle bird on a tree nearby. And my heart began to pour out songs of love. I love you, I love you, I love you. I really, really love you. My little friend became very excited. It made ecstatic little noises, and it lifted up in the air, and a moment later landed on my head. After that, it hopped onto my left shoulder and moved around to kiss me on my mouth. Gorgeous women, it is time we reclaim our feminine power. It is time we receive the life force from the earth, her nourishment. Just like the cherry tree, who grows in abundance of red, jewel-like fruits. Imagine being a woman in that fullness of life. She doesn't worry about a few pounds more or less on her bones. She's comfortable in her own body. She's open and receptive. She allows love, money, support, and abundance come towards her. This woman is a natural leader. She is grounded, and she is able to make powerful decisions by following her inner impulses. So many of us believe that we have to push to get stuff done. That's why so many of us are saying in our 30s and 40s, I have to do this and this and this, but I really don't feel like it. Right? So many of us are running organizations and businesses next to raising a family. All that fire and all that passion can only get us so far before we burn out and resent the very things we have created from the joys of our visions. You know, there is another way. And here, wise woman wise woman knows how to listen deeply. Wise woman lives within me and you. When the waves are big, she jumps on them and she gets far very quickly. But when there's no waves, she says, shh, rest, replenish, receive, listen deeply within. Wise woman is fully embodied with her roots in the earth. She owns her power. And she's activated by her feminine creative force. In our society, a woman seems to have lost value once she hits menopause. Together, we need to change this. We need to step into our wise woman leadership by slowing down at the correct times, making time to replenish, receiving life force from the earth by rooting. That is the key to developing and being in touch with our own innate wisdom within. And at the same time, access the natural elixir of life that is present in our body and in the earth. After the wise woman leader has embodied for quite some time, she's promoted to becoming the wise woman elder. She becomes a cornerstone in our society for the younger generations to lean on and follow her example. She becomes like the wise old woman tree up on the hill, overlooking the sea. She has cycled through the seasons of life. There she stands through all weather conditions without bracing herself. Her roots deeply in the earth and her branches reaching high into the sky. Men, women, and children are naturally attracted to sitting beneath her canopy of protection and wisdom. It is through her presence that everyone walks away refreshed and replenished. Make your commitment to your inner wise woman your number one priority. If you are not in control of your life force, you are not in control of your life. End of story. Unless woman is restored to her natural feminine state, our world cannot thrive. But what if woman were to embody her true feminine power? Together, we would move this world into a new era. A time where deep feminine wisdom is not only valued, but eagerly received in order to enrich and transform every area of our society. Thank you.